Sick.
and then fingers crossed Spain comes online. Okay, there we go. They're idle now instead of offline, so we may have to you add people to
Cool.
yeah, we could add one more person.
You can add people to group chats. Yes, I'm annoyed that we didn't have a VC in the server, but whatever, it is what it is.
Yeah, I didn't want to keep pinging the GMs as a non-player, non-active spectator.
Okay, listen. Pinging Squidlock is always a good thing.
Uh, very true, but Squid I don't think likes me too much on account of the uh, World of Chaos shenanigans that we got up to.
Oh, been playing Chaos recently? What?
No, this was last summer.
Oh, okay.
Although I have been playing some
Makes sense.
classic chaos on web diplomacy. Genuinely, some of the most heinous, incompetent diplomacy I've ever seen anybody try to play. We have Rome building an army year one. We have three armies in the UK. Everyone in Turkey built an army. Nobody builds fleets for some reason, except for Brest, who decided to build a fleet and then immediately get walked in on by terrorists. Really, just like awful, atrocious gameplay. Reminds me of Alphabet Dip, how bad it is.
That's your fault for choosing E.
I didn't check how bad the country was before signing up, but it seems like I'll be able to get eliminated this year pretty nicely, and then I can focus on my two.
Wait, your
Are they
two
gonna
dot
run?
game?
What was that?
Say what's up.
Are they gonna run like a Imperial Chaos anytime soon? Is
They
that a
did.
thing?
Uh, there was a 345 player chaos game last summer. That was the biggest game ever, but it took a whole bunch out of Flair and the GM team. There were 10 GMs, and it was constant moderation issues and
Oh, I see.
aggressive
So it was a big mess.
directives.
I see.
The
Yeah.
game
Yeah.
itself ran pretty well for the first few weeks, but it was also really aggressive. Every day was adjudication day, and it took
Oh
away a
God.
lot of the things. I think we might get like a smaller chaos game, maybe a blitz. Bring back chaos blitz. Hold on,
Oh God. No, 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 no,
I gotta
no.
go ping. Where is my SACB? I have to ping Artema about releasing the footage.
Artemis or what?
South America Chaos Blitz, which was played, I think, more than a year ago, and it was recorded.
What the fuck is Chaos Blitz? It sounds horrible.
It was a
Anything?
blitz. It was a blitz game, and it was standard public press. I think it was 15 minutes a move. I can check back. Let's see. I have 12:29, and then my next orders were at 12. Yeah, so it looks like I think it was 10 or 15 minutes per adjudication. Um, all public press for the continent of South America. I clicked up. Hold on.
It's like a nightmare.
I'm getting this in the video. I want to pull up my favorite move I've ever played was year two.
Should you share your
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
screen? You
Let me
can.
share my screen quickly so that you two can see this as well. Uh, no, that I think is the wrong thing. Is this OBS? That's my Discord. Okay. Scroll, scroll, scroll. It's one of these.
Damn, mentioned
South
so many active servers.
South America Chaos Blitz with this starting map. Really top tier stuff. And it was I was playing Charua. This is Winter Week
Okay.
one, which is this teal
Yeah,
colored
yeah, yeah.
tower, and looking for it. I got this convoy coordinated. I had Mibia convoy me and Sao Paulo support it, and
That's funny.
that's the best move that I think has ever been pulled off. in a chaos game is a three-way coordination. And later on down the line, I think I got up to like five centers on this one.
And then did you die?
Yeah, then I got to three, and then scroll down a little more. Here I was at still three. When did I get? I think I got to four or five. Is it here? Yeah, and then I had four. Um, and then everybody around me started warring me, and I ended on four. But really, it was just this. Sarfed was playing Tukapel and ended up pretty much steamrolling stuff. And then
Yes,
Meepster was
typical
on
Kofi.
Palu and also did pretty well. I don't remember who was on Felina, but that was
Meepster doing good in the game. That's crazy.
with this final map, and most people got eliminated. But overall, it was really fun. I'd play it again, but we
By
keep
the way, I
getting.
think I'm echoing in your stream.
Are you?
Yep, I hear myself.
Yeah.
Shit. Okay.
Maybe don't stream Discord.
Yeah, that would be why. Is that better?
Yeah.
Test 1, 2, 3.
Yeah. That,
Yeah.
that was
Yeah.
definitely
Okay.
it.
Some level of double feedback. Okay, here we go. We got TripleZ.
All right, sick. Oliver, I am. You are not in my game, so I can spec you.
Okay, sounds good. So you are playing.
No, I'm GMing.
Are you GMing? Okay, got it.
Feen, am I in your game?
No, I can. If you two are in the same game, then I will spec Enderman because he got to me first.
Yeah, I started putting together. Said about 5 minutes, and then he'll be in. I should be
Perfect.
on the Dutch. If I'm not on the Dutch, I may just pregame sub out. I really just want to play the Dutch so that I don't have to do it ever again.
You should.
Why?
You should.
Because I'm so close to finishing all of the countries. I have the Netherlands, Shoshone, Guarani. No, I've played Guarani. Netherlands, Shoshone, uh, Austria, the Ottomans, Russia, Mughals, and Abyssinia left, and every other country I've touched, whether in a full game or a sub position. So I'm going for the completion, and the Dutch are going to be a particularly bad one to have to play a full game on because I hate the Dutch and they suck. Um, so yeah, 2.4 Enderman Dutch. I'm cooking up some big things.
Well, I think 2.5. I'll go for Spain or Dutch because I want to get my colonial infinity stones.
Yeah, I should probably run back a Spain game because my Spain game was kind of maybe a France game.
I mean,
Maybe I no longer hate Columbus.
Yeah, I
Colonial
put
is so
Portugal
fun.
first, then England.
Oh, Portugal. Okay, have fun being a fucking rat.
Feen, not everybody plays the game like you, okay?
Okay, okay.
No,
Listen,
I'll,
listen,
Bean,
listen.
I'm just gonna pretend I'm you. You know. Yeah.
The thing is, with Portugal and Dutch, they're like, we have so many like 1 or 2 dot colonies. You actually have to be very evil for them to survive.
Yeah.
And you, in the AR, you'll learn like how much ratting I did.
Oh yeah, I took on my train ride yesterday. I took quite a good look through at least the first few years. It was through like the end of year three on things that stood out, and like half of it is just Fiend stabs someone, Fiend stabs someone, Fiend builds an army to destroy.
Yeah.
Fiend builds a second army in Macau. Fiend builds a third army in Macau. Fiend
Hey,
just
Macau
walks
was
into
cooking.
Ayutthaya.
Macau was cooking. It's just that fucking Ming stole my soul. God damn it, dude. I was so like I was like, oh my god, there's a fucking line. I'll take it. I will 100% take it. And then Ming ruins it, and nobody saw it coming.
Yeah.
No, I had no idea you were gonna go for the solo.
Yeah, so I was like, this is the line. I see it. I see it so clearly. This is 100% the line, and I can do it if and only if someone doesn't stab me. And at that point, I was telling Ming, "Hey, I'm your bestie. I'm just gonna kill Ayutthaya here." And they're like, "Yeah, actually, you're right. You never lied to me." I'm like, "Exactly." And then they stabbed me.
Stabbers get stabbed.
Listen, I didn't stab Ming. I never lied to them. Tofu kept on pushing, asking me to push into Ming, and I'm like, "Sure." And then I see the lines into Ming, and I'm like, "Yeah, I get to skip one dot for 1 year, and then I lose it the next year. Nah, I'd rather just kill Ayutthaya." The walking into Lansang like a boss was just beautiful. I love that play.
It was disgusting. It was awful. The fact that that worked, like this was
Yeah,
honestly
yeah.
probably some of the worst and most questionable Ayutthaya. I don't know who was on Ayutthaya, but this was some really
Uh,
questionable play after about, I'd say it started like fall year two. It started going downhill, and then
okay,
after
listen,
that,
listen.
like
They,
the decision to
I,
convoy into Sarawak, absurd.
oh, that was a me thing. That was I tried to convince them to do that, and I was like, that's such a
Absolutely
bad
nuts.
play. I'm pretty sure he's not.
Getting
Yeah,
your capital sniped, like letting someone into Lansang, like here as Ayutthaya, at a minimum, you should be supporting Duncan. We'll get into that during the actual like commentary. But
yeah. I mean, I kept telling them that hey, if I get Donkin, I'll just full send into Ming, and they love that. Although in year one, I literally told them I'm gonna tap Donkin. And so if you don't want to get bounced and lose at lot, leave it alone and let me have it.
I mean, Portugal should be putting the fleet in Duncan. There's no reason for any of the three
Yeah, exactly,
not
exactly.
to.
Like I'm always gonna do that.
Yeah. And then really like it probably Portugal should sit on three fleets because I think the armies are too committal as Portugal. And I think that
Okay, listen. Ming
less
wanted me to
capital
build
sniping.
army. Ming wanted me to build army. Ayutthaya wanted me to build army. Why would I build a fleet there?
I'd
Both
say
of them were like,
Sebastian
yeah,
is really
build army.
strong, and you need to be ready to suicide your Macau colony to kill Formosa in Manila.
Netherlands is Jonathan BL.
Okay, well, we don't have to name names of players. Um,
I mean, come on, dog.
there's a reason why
I knew he was gonna be the guy.
there's a reason why the three of you won the game. And it's because you played better than everybody else, but that doesn't mean that everyone else is bad at diplomacy. That just means that this game got the best of them, and it sort of slipped out of control,
That is
which
true.
is entirely a reasonable thing. And,
That is very much true.
games can slip out of control. Even many games can slip out of control, and you can still be a good player.
Ultimate Cup. We
Yeah,
don't talk about that.
especially
Fuck that.
Oh yeah, I've been watching that feed.
Yeah, fuck
Just
that page.
periodically, just periodically. Yeah.
both of you were
Goron
in
is a shit.
Ultimate Cup, and there was a poll posted in the main chat on which of us would die first because neither of us are having good games.
Yeah. I mean, I'm not dying as fast. I'll probably go -1 this year, but like,
Yeah, it's like both of
that,
us sort of peaked at 8 centers, and it's been rough ever since.
well, I warned you, buddy. The neighboring KOP and JPM, you knew that's not gonna go well.
No, there was no solo chances, but luckily I'm also on Ayutthaya in another game, which I would have loved to be on
How's that going?
Ayutthaya in. That one's going much better. I'm one behind the pacing record, and overall things are going pretty well. I can't speak too much on that game. We'll
Yeah,
do the
yeah.
adjudication
How,
later.
how many centers are you in?
In that game, I have 13 centers right now after 3 years.
It's not bad.
Yeah. It's a fine game. I invite anybody that wants to come spec me in that game because currently I only have one spec. And for
Sorry, I'm speaking too
everyone that's
often.
watching the VOD, come spec me 2.3 Xyrus. I'm on Ayutthaya. It's gonna be a banger. And if you don't want to
It,
spec me
it, it
2.3,
definitely will not be a banger. The only Enderman, let me remind you, the only reason you ever won a game was because of me. Okay,
yeah, I won Blitz entirely on my own.
we don't talk about Blitz.
You only don't talk about Blitz because I have a better Blitz record than you.
Sure, I mean my Blitz is almost always just fucking around with other colonials. You played a
And my
regional.
Blitz
That's
and
the
my
difference.
Blitz is playing Blitz to win the game and then actually winning or getting very close to it.
Nah, that's whatever, dog. Whatever.
Anyway, we've just had our Spain join. TripleZ, welcome.
All right, you set the rules on how we're gonna do this.
All right.
Hello.
Hello, hello, hello. Welcome. Here's how we're gonna do this. I have the maps pulled up. I can't stream, so all of you are just gonna have to follow along with your maps on your own devices. Um, we're gonna go through phase by phase. You'll each have uh, 1 to 2 minutes to talk about whatever you want. I have a couple of things from each phase I skimmed through the game that stood out to me. If you feel like you want extra prompting, um, other than that, this is the B2.2O After Action Report. I'm here with the three winners, TripleZ on Spain, Feen on Portugal, and Oliver on Russia, or Sar Oliver on Russia. And we are going to jump right into it with Spring '01. So the main thing that stuck out to me about Spring '01, and we're just going to kind of go around, and we'll start with Spain. You opened very heavily against Ute into Sonora and Sea of Cortez. Actually, before we get into Spring '01, is there anything pre-game that stuck out that you really want to talk about? Ideas going into the game, anything like that?
Is it for everyone or just for
Yeah, for each
Spain?
of you. Anybody that had anything going
Um, I mean, for me, I'm like, yeah, I saw the player list. I saw Netherlands as Jonathan, and I'm like, okay, cool. That's actually great for me. Uh, England, I mean, in terms of players, Exaggerator as France and England as a recap, those were kind of the big names I had to watch out for. Uh, and also Piquere as Ashuran, because I've played with him before, and I know he's a good player. So I was kind of terrified of that. Uh, but other than that, I guess Nexel as Aymara was also kind of scary. Uh, for those who don't know, my 4 wins in Imp Dip, Nexel was in that game, like all 4 of them. And I pretty much stabbed him in every single one of them. So I was like, oh shit, here we go again. Uh, yeah, so that was I was like, okay, how do I survive this? Because as Portugal, your colonies are like 1.2 dots, and like the Safavid mascot colony, how do I survive? That was my initial thoughts.
on?
I'll let others go on.
Yeah, I mean, my thought is I've never played Imperial diplomacy. I played regular diplomacy. So my thought, and I guess people said Russia was bad. So my initial thought is I'll see what happens. Try to do my best here. Um, yeah, I don't know. I didn't know anyone who's playing or anything like that.
Yeah, Spain, anything pre-game that you had?
Not a lot. I usually like to go in just flexibly, see what everyone's plan is, and base my plans off of that. I played with Inuit before and with England, but I didn't have that many positive or negative thoughts on that.
All right. Then yeah, let's get into Spring '01, and I am going to circle back to this sort of Spanish Americas opening. This move into Sonora and Sea of Cortez, and then also on the other side, this opening where Poland opened to Caracas and you put two on Caracas. And I just wanted to
Mm-hmm.
get like, how did those discussions go year one? Like, what led you to open like this? Was this a bounce that was supposed to happen that you dodged? Was this just a full stab? Like, what was going on?
With youth, I had no idea what was happening. I asked them for aqua, and they basically said no. And then I asked, like, okay, what's your general game plan? And at some point, I just didn't get the response anymore, and I was like, okay, then I just go that way.
Mhm. Okay.
All I can say about the youth player is that they never responded to my press, so I just kept spamming gifs on press chat.
Uh, Absolutely
Yeah,
epic.
I've got in total two messages of them, and a couple of phases I've tried to, hey, do you want to answer? And at some point, I just gave up.
Like two messages total, like for the entire game.
Yes.
All right.
That's
That's incredible.
that is crazy.
Expert recommendation for the new players watching this. Respond to press. It's the number one way to not get stabbed. And we'll circle back to this front because this is a recurring thing. We'll see what happens to you on account of not answering their press. Another thing that stuck out year one was down here in Madagascar. We had this French fleet in Fort Dauphin opening to Sakalava and this Portuguese fleet in Delagoa going to Mapondo. This is extremely unstandard. So, Feen, was this? But what did you say to France to get them to
Okay,
answer
so
this?
right, I asked Franz, "Can I have Mopondo?" And he said, "Sure." And then I asked, "Okay, where's Reunion going? Are you going for Cape Co?" And he said, "Maybe." So I had no idea where he was opening to. Uh, but he said I can have Mopondo, so I'm like, okay, I'll just do that. I did not know this Imarina move, so whatever. But yeah, I got Mopondo from France, and then I got Zanzibar from Ajuran. So those are the best Portuguese position if you want to consolidate in the region. So I was happy about that.
Awesome. Some other things that stuck out about the Portuguese position over here in Macau, you had this clear free walk into Dongkin, um,
Yeah,
and that's just good play.
yeah. I told both of them that I'm gonna tap Donkin in fall. Your best play is to let me in, otherwise I'm gonna bounce you out of it out. And it worked.
We'll see how Macau develops. It has a spicy future in this game. And then for Russia's position, something that stuck out was this Novgorod to Latgale move, as opposed to Novgorod to Pskov. Um, this is like this just stood out to me, and I was wondering why Latgale and not Pskov.
I think I was just trying to suck up to Sweden. I think because Sweden can bounce me out, and so I was that's my memory of what was going on there.
Mhm.
I was just trying to play nice. It seemed like doubling is good. That was one little shred of advice I had about this game going into this. So I knew I wanted Riga, and Sweden would have that veto, and that's how I got Sweden to get me Riga.
Yeah, all right, makes sense. And apologies to everybody else that was in this game. We're mostly just going to be hitting the big three winners and covering their games. Because not that your games weren't important, but you didn't win. Uh, so as a result, we are going to be focusing on just the three of them to keep this shorter on time. Most of the rest of spring year one looked fairly standard across the board. I don't know if there was anything that anybody wants to touch on that happened this
Gulf of
phase. What was
Gulf of
that?
Maine.
Gulf of Maine.
Gulf of
Oh,
Maine.
yes, yes. Gulf of Maine gets walked into. Immediately, Fallwith supports Boston into Mohawk. Um, Everybody that's afraid of an EF immediately feels overjoyed as soon as they see this combination of moves.
Oh yeah, I was elated because first of all, I tried to like sort of hint at a non like to France, like, hey, maybe you shouldn't do EF. Netherlands is going to be weak this game. Maybe you can make them an ally and just like get them to feed your dots. And I know Jonathan is a great ally. And England was pretty much like, I'm going from Bradalid, and in exchange, I'll support you to Hyderabad. And as Portugal, I don't think I can really contest that, right?
Yeah.
I need the EP. So when I see France moving to Gulf of Maine, and I'm like, oh, there's an opportunity, because France did not tell me this, so I was surprised as well.
That's a good play. If you're ever going to do imp dip is very very standard in the double year one and then figure it out year two. If you're ever going to go for one of these year one stabs, you gotta keep it wrapped up. If it gets out, especially like an EF stab, they can fall apart really quickly. So you just have to be really careful with the information there. So yeah, this was, I'm sure, set the pace of the game as you don't have to worry about an EF, you don't have to worry about the slow roll of the board. Things are just going to go and go and go. It's going to be a fast game.
Yeah, in spring '01, I remember now, Feen and I both were like making the rest of the board scared about an EF. And I was just like messing with some of the colonials because I'm Russia
You
and they can't
spread
do
way
anything to
too
me.
many rumors, dude. You spread way too many rumors.
I know, I
Oh,
was
right.
probably having too much fun. I was bored.
One other interesting move was the Arabia, the Muscat colony. I forgot to
Yes,
mention
here
that.
in Arabia, we had both a Strait of Hormuz bounce and a ban bounce, which immediately means that the Safavids are going +4 at best,
Yeah.
which is bad if you're the
So here's
Safavids.
where the ratting comes in. So my take of this colony is just this is absolute trash for Portugal. Safavid can just bounce you out of a dot or force Rustak. So I was like, I have to bounce Strait of Hormuz. And now how do I fix this? Russia comes to me and says he's planning to gank Safavid with the Ottomans. And I'm like, okay, that's excellent. So what I do, I go to Safavid and I'm like, hey, Ottomans are going to move to Van here. Maybe you should bounce them. And then I go to Ottoman and I'm like, are you going with Russia's plan? And they said yes. So I'm like, okay, feel free to tap Van or Khuzestan, anything that can work. And so I kind of made sure that both of them get bounced so that, I am the good guy in this because I helped Safavid block a potential Ottoman stab in year one.
Yeah,
Sorry, what?
that's top tier ratting.
Yeah, yeah.
Really disgusting stuff. That's
I mean, what
really
else
just,
can I do,
that's
right?
awful. That's so bad. Telling them both to move to van.
Yeah,
Actually,
and it worked out.
the fact that both of them listen to you when you're playing Portugal in this organ. Oh my god.
Okay, listen, Russia can't be
Another
mad at that
newbie
because
tip.
Russia benefits from this.
If someone
Oh yeah,
comes to
no, that
you and
definitely helped me.
says move to this province and they don't have anything to do with it, it's 1,000% a ploy. Like they're definitely just messing with you, especially if that person is named Feen. Don't listen
Okay,
to
but
them
like
express.
they
Do
both of
not.
them were moving to Van. Like there was a Safavid coalition,
Yeah.
and so I gave them the correct play to defend themselves. They would have died like in year three otherwise.
Oh, that would have been cinema. We didn't have
Well, then I would have an
any
auto
super
problem, so
units.
I didn't want that. I wanted a vassal Safavid.
That's actually crazy. Portugal vassalizes Safavids instead of the other way around.
You'll see how that went.
Yeah. Anything more for spring year one? Seeing none, we're going to hop over, and I should have had these maps all ready to go. But we are going to pull up fall year one. But we're going to start here with this Ute border again, because it's my favorite part. Here we have quite possibly the most baffling move that I've seen so far, which is Vizcaíno with a hold, just giving Spain Aquala for free, and combined with a Paiute bounce. What was going on here? What happened?
Yeah, I honestly no clue. I mean, I already said I didn't get any messages from them, So I have no clue.
I mean, this
This
is
was
this is a this is something
Aquala
you'll
was very
notice.
fortunate, and Payet was a little bit unlucky, but yeah.
This is a case study, honestly. I screenshot this specific move to youth chat and I dropped some question marks. Obviously, I got no response, but yeah.
Oh my god.
I was like, what is going on here?
Yeah, this was just this is very questionable. Really, just don't hold your units, especially if they're standing next to dots. Just walk into the dot. It's better play. And then also in the Spanish Americas, we had this Caracas force um, to deny Poland the dot. Did you tell them that they could take Caracas in spring and then stab, or
No,
was this just they walked in and messed
no.
up?
I told them I would like to go for Caracas, and then she said, um, "Can't you take something else?" And then I kind of explained why not, and then there was no communication anymore. Also here, there was a bit of a lack of communication. But
Yeah,
I was like, "Yeah, I told you, so I'm also gonna take it."
I mean, that's to your benefit, right? Like, if Poland doesn't
Yes.
communicate with you, that's their problem because they're gonna
Yeah.
lose the dollar. Yeah.
yeah. This is another case study in talk to people. It's a game about talking.
Yeah. Although she can't really offer you anything, right? I mean, she can say, "Hey, go for Merbo or whatever," but I don't
Yeah,
know.
that's
Uh,
You know.
that's pretty much what you do.
Yeah.
Dotting Parmerbo is 1,000% good play, especially if you want an SN war immediately. This is just like you get the dot and you neuter the Dutch Brazil colony immediately. And it's very playable if you're going to then commit to a full war, but it does lock in your first few years of expansion.
Yeah. Okay. That's exactly what I didn't want to do at the start of the game. So yeah.
Around NAO, we had this series of honestly moves that I cannot understand. We have Gulf of Maine leaving Gulf of Maine to NAO2. NAO2 not going for Bertale and instead walking back to Bermuda, and NAO4 sneaks in and gets a dot. Feen,
Uh,
what wizardry did you pull in this one?
this is classic ratting again. Okay, so a lot went here. So I go to France and I'm like, what? Why Gulf of Maine? This makes no sense. You could have told me. And he was saying something like, "Oh, it's a leverage against England if he stabs." And I'm like, "Oh, did he stab?" And he's like, "Nope, he did it." So I'm like, "Oh shit, England's still probably gonna go for Bradley." So I asked friends, "Hey, are you gonna dot Bermuda?" Because initially my plan was actually dotting Bermuda, because like I need dots, right? And SAO was like low priority for me. So I asked Franz, "Are you going for Bermuda?" And he says, "Only if you support me in." So I take that statement. I go to England and I'm like, "Hey, you want to reconsider Bradalid?" And England's just like, "No, I'm gonna take it." So I asked, "Well, isn't France gonna go for Bermuda?" And England said, "No, they won't. They told me they won't." And I said, "Then why are they asking me for support?" And that kind of led England into a spiral because I asked France, and they said only if you offer me support. But I turned it around, saying that, oh, France asked me support into Bermuda. So I say, okay, how about I take Bradley this year? You bounce France out of Bermuda, and then we can just kill France, and then you can take back Bradley in exchange for Hyderabad. And they're like, yeah, sure. So there you go.
Yeah, and we'll take a peek at India. This was very standard. It was a bounce in Hyderabad in spring and then another bounce in Hyderabad in fall. Not too much was happening here. But while we're over here, we have Bandar Abbas walking out to Arabian Sea and Isfahan going to Keshem. And we also just
I
have,
was not a fan of it.
what was that?
I was not a fan of this. But the alternative was that they walk into Strait of Hormuz. So I'm like, you know what? Go to Arabian Sea.
Yeah. And we have this Derbent force. So, Russia, if you want to touch on what this relationships with the Safavid was like.
Yeah, I mean, I think pretty early on, I was kind of, like Feen said, was aiming at Safavid, or however the hell you say it. Just because Caspian Sea is such a obvious kind of tension point, and I was getting along with autos. Um, so right, I remember. So this is the turn where I had told Poland that I was going to support her into Ochakiv, but I really wanted to work with Otto against Safawid, and so I intentionally misordered on the support so that Poland wouldn't get Ochakiv. Um, and of course, I was trying to be tricky, but Poland immediately saw through it and was really mad at me. Um, but yeah, it was so definitely pretty early on. Kind of was organizing a coalition, and Mughal was very on board as well. Everyone was very on board for doing this, so that just kind of worked, uh, to my benefit.
Yeah, and we see this Mughal move into Uzgen, which is never a good sign. If you're the Safavids, you really want to be getting all four or all five of these Central Asian dots as quickly as you can if you're in a war against Russia, because the Caucasus just bottles down. Skimming over the rest of Russia's position, we had an unopposed walk into Riga. So it seems like your Sweden situation worked out. Combined with this lack of supporting Poland into Ochakiv gives bad omens for Poland going forwards, because we already saw that they lost Caracas over in the Americas, which means that they're only going +5 here. Or yeah, only +5. Plus they've just dotted Pressburg, and Poland is making lots of enemies and few allies. And we do see Russia double out east. They get into Yakutsk.
Yeah, I saw the Russia double, and I'm like, they're probably gonna have a good game.
Yep. Other things that stood out. Stuff looked pretty standard. Feen, Portugal got into Danny, which the Dutch opened really heavily into Asa. Oh wait,
Oh,
this
right,
is something
yes.
I remember. INO2 and INO3 both holding.
Oh, that's disgusting. That is disgusting. Why aren't you dotting each other? What are you guys doing?
Yeah, I want people to keep in mind on this screen that INO2 could walk to Ceylon and INO3 could walk to Reunion extremely easily. And it's just simply better play and holding these units. Again, don't hold your units.
Yeah, holding is a crime.
And the side effect of that is that Portugal gets into Danny, which really means that this Timor Sea colony is going to get up jumped quite a bit.
Dutch did not tell me they're not going for Flores. I told them they can have it, and they just didn't go for it. So I'm like, oh, pocket Flores, excellent.
Yeah, this is an unorthodox Dutch opening, and we'll see if it comes back to bite them later. Did any of you have anything particular from this phase that stood out to you that I may have missed?
Oh yeah, Mapuche and Gorani are fighting, which is great for me.
Yeah, this is absurd. Well, you can't be fighting year one. Um, the thing about the South American regionals is so much of the continent is dominated by. Let me get back to full screen. So much of the continent is dominated by colonials that even if you get a stab off and you completely win your triangle, you'll be sitting on 20 or 22 dots, and you're facing a really uphill battle into Portugal and Spain to get to VSCC, and those powers have no reason to fight each other, and it just makes it really difficult for you. So this, I would say, is bad, trying to dodge.
Yeah, but like from the press, Mapuche and Gorani just hated each other, and I kind of kept fueling that fire as much as I could. So they just kept on hating, and then I convinced Mapuche to walk into Buenos Aires in spring, uh, which the agreement was that they go in and fall, so that Gorani gets Malvinas. But since this happened, they're just full out warring at this point.
Yeah, this bodes poorly for them, and we'll keep tabs on it. I want to jump ahead to builds here because we actually had quite a few interesting decisions made on builds. And as always, we are going to start with the Spanish Americas. And I just want to wonder if you forgot where the F key was,
Yeah,
because you just didn't build any army, any fleets in the Caribbean at all
yeah,
during year one.
yeah.
And if we
Mm-hmm.
zoom over, we can also see that you only built one fleet in the Mediterranean year one.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, so just like, what was the plan with builds to underbuild these two regions so much?
In NA, I was realizing that I had to fight Utah because they just didn't respond to me. And I was a little bit afraid that that would go horribly wrong because Spain is not really at very nice positions against Utah. So I just thought, okay, I just have to build armies here and just ask England to not fight me.
Mhm.
So that was the plan.
Yeah,
And it kind of worked out.
make plan, do plan. We do
Uh,
see,
but but that doesn't explain the army in Panama, though. I'm very confused about that.
yes,
The
this
army,
one, yeah.
yes. So if I remember correctly, this army Panama was to get Belize because England didn't want. Like I agreed with England to not build any fleet if we could trade Havana for Belize. That was the
But they
deal,
did build fleet.
right? The
Uh,
They
deal was
did
that
build fleet in Belize, though.
the deal was to trade Havana for Belize, and that I didn't build any fleets.
Oh, okay.
yeah. Uh,
So the
Zooming
army
in,
Panama was to take Belize.
we also had this F Kicho build, which is normally anti-Amara. It wasn't used that way this game. So I'm just wondering why not just another army here?
That is a good question. I think the main thought was to get more NPO control. Not that much thought behind it.
That's very
Besides
fair.
that,
We do see Poland puts down another fleet in New Courland, so they're continuing to fight for the colony. Dutch army Paramaribo means this is going to be a war. And jumping over to Europe, I want
yeah,
to look at this Russia position because Russia had a couple of builds that were a little bit interesting. First off, 3 Swedish fleets and no fleet Arkhangelsk. So I just want you to walk me through sort of how this relationship with Sweden is evolving and sort of what your plan is going forward.
Yeah, I mean, at this point, I'm thinking that we're coalitioning Poland because Austria's on board, Sweden's on board, and so I figure Army Arc is what makes sense to um, to get that done and to not have tension um, with Sweden. I'm also aware that I just kind of need to be able to have put 2 supports on Novgorod, or else you know Poland and Sweden can take Novgorod from me pretty easily. So that's why I built that army. It would have been nice to have a fleet because I really never really got going up in the north with my fleet. So I don't know. Maybe I should have built a fleet here. Maybe that was a mistake. But that's what I was thinking.
All right.
I mean, if I'm Sweden and I see an army Arkhangelsk, the first thought that'll come to my mind is like, oh, Russia wants to kill me.
Yeah. Arkhangelsk to Kola, and then things start
Yeah,
going wrong.
yeah.
Yeah,
That's
yeah. I
just
don't know.
so scary.
Yeah. So that may have been my mistake. I really meant it, as um, looking at it now. I mean, it kind of makes sense because I think that's probably what freaked Sweden out. I'd be interested to hear what Sweden has to say because Sweden's builds were like, I was thrilled to see 3 fleets here from Sweden. I'm like, hey, hell yeah, you know.
Yeah,
But then it really didn't. It really didn't turn out that way.
and looking at the Baltic count, we end up with 5 Swedish fleets to 1 Polish fleet in Lubeck, and this is just a brutal positioning advantage. We'll see how that develops moving forward. We do see fleets in both Astrakhan and Tehran, as well as double armies from the Ottomans here and another fleet from Portugal and Army Kabul. So this, if anybody has any perspective into this Safavid coalition, now would be the time to share.
Yeah, I think just everyone was very on board to do it. I don't know. I don't know. There wasn't all that much. I think the tension was between Feen and Mughal about because of India. Um, but
At this point,
you
there
know,
wasn't. At this point, there wasn't.
I
But
guess not.
it
Yeah,
will
yeah,
be very soon. Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah. And the last thing that stood out to me,
I would also like to note.
Mhm.
Okay. Yeah, go for it. Go for it. I'll say it after.
Army Macau. Uh, we talked about this a little bit
Yeah, I mean, both of them said I'm okay. They're okay with it. So why not?
in the pregame chatter, but just in case I need to cut some part of this video, Army Macau, because both Ming and Ayutthaya told Feen to build Army Macau. Uh, and this unit is going to have a wild journey that we will track over the next 2 or 3 years.
and
Uh,
then dying, but it's fine.
and then without further ado, since we've now just made it through year one, and this is like Diplo Strats level pacing, we're going to try to speed things up and look at
About that. So I
One
have
one thing that I want to note is that Spain waived builds.
yes, Spain waved one, I believe, in
Yeah,
this year.
I was really like annoyed by this because I see no fleets in the Caribbean and I see Spain waving a build and I'm like, oh my God, England's gonna have a great game here. Oh God,
To be
that
fair,
was my
England
reaction.
did only go plus 11, which isn't great.
Yeah, because I read it, but like, yeah,
but I
Uh,
mean I waved two builds and they were both in otherwise they would have been in Europe, right?
yeah, it
yeah,
would have
yeah.
been
Which is why I'm like,
two more fleets.
I remember our press very vividly. Like I was asking, yo, why did you waive bills? And you're like, if I didn't waive bills, they would have been anti you. And I'm like, you know what? You have a great point.
Yeah,
Because I think waving is really the way I can still get fleets into the Carib if I want to. If I don't and I don't get progress, then I can't build fleets there ever anymore.
Sense.
yeah, it's very fair. Spring year two, actually, Span, I wanted to ask you about this
But
because
by the way,
you,
about time, so I have a little bit under an hour, like about 15 minutes left. I'm not sure.
yeah, we're gonna pick this up
Okay,
aggressively.
sure. And I'll
Uh,
I
let you
I
keep track of that, just so you know.
I have less time than that. I have like 20 minutes left or so. I'm sorry. Sorry, guys.
yeah, that's fine. Um, we'll just skim through very surface level stuff.
Yes.
We could do a
Spain,
part two if needed.
yeah, we might that might work. We'll cover like the first 2 or 3 years. Spain
Yeah.
here traded. We did see this Belize for Havana trade and
Yeah.
a Canaries for Rabat trade. Both very fine. Uh,
Mm-hmm.
not to beleaguer the point, but this Ute Spain war continues to drag on. I'm
Yeah.
assuming they still haven't sent you any press as of this phase, and it's just
Correct. Yes.
lethal. But you do get some help because Athapaska and Inuit both fully walk in on every neutral tile surrounding Ute Shoshone, which is
Yeah.
absurd. So that's going very well. I did want to make note of here in Naples. This does not look agreed. No,
This was agreed.
this was agreed?
Yes. I also
Wow.
traded Naples for Tunis.
Ah, very interesting. So, thought process behind these three different trades. Why do those
Well,
matter?
all of them the same thought process. I believe it's a more stable position that I can defend more easily. Specifically, Naples Tunis also makes it so that Ottoman can build less um, in this area. And if they build less and I build less, then I can focus on other stuff.
Yeah, that's fair.
We both built only one fleet also in build. It's also a very nice way of.
It all seems very balanced. Skimming over to the Russia position, we do see this full stab on both Poland and the Safavids, uh, which just like this is just good play. This looks very nice. If you want to talk about anything that happened this phase with that.
Yeah, I mean, at this point, I'm super confident that we're just going to crush Poland. I don't know. And I'm working with autos, and yeah, everything's going very well. And um, and yeah, I don't know. It's relatively uncomplicated. I don't really remember. I think my press with Safawi is already kind of pretty tense. Like I don't think um I think it was pretty clear what was going on pretty early on, but it kind of didn't matter because Otto was so on board and everyone seemed like they were on board. So
Yeah. And I do want to note over in the east, this double move to Amur and Buryatia. This is a good Ching stab, as well as supporting Ming and Tagobi.
oh well, yeah. So I should say there's a whole other coalition going on to coalition Ching, and yeah, this is really the turn where that happens. And so right, so I remember, so Ching thought that we were gonna bounce in Alden, and so the stab was, if I remember correctly, so the stab was to let him into Alden, and Inuit gets into Navix, and then and so this kind of went very well for all of
Yeah.
us.
Uh,
That was a tragedy for Chin.
Ignoring South America because nothing happens in South America. I want to jump ahead to
Huh? What do you
fall.
mean? There's some really good.
Uh,
Uh,
oh, actually, this phase did have interesting things. Netherlands gets full board stabbed.
oh yeah,
Spain stabs them. Ayutthaya stabs them. Portugal stabs them. Uh,
France stabs them.
France stabs them. Congo and Abyssinia and England both stab them. Um,
I, I
really
don't think I
interesting.
read actually. Well,
Yeah, every colonial and about half of the regionals all stab on the same phase here. Is this any of your doings, or was this just a general jump the
I
Dutch
mean, that
here
was the
too?
general vibes. I talked to everyone, and they're like, "Yeah, we're sending it to Netherlands." So I'm like, "Yeah, screw it, I'll do it as well."
This is just rough. I don't know how many the Dutch are down, but they started at 27, and we'll take a look after fall. Feen, you said interesting things happened in South America.
Oh yeah, the Gorani thing. So Gorani demanded a bounce in Puri, and they were prior to this phase, they were super paranoid of me. They think I'm like the big evil in this continent. And I did exactly what they asked, and everyone else stabbed him, which was a great reason for them to offer, hey, how about I fully vassalize to you?
that's the perfect position.
Yeah,
Yeah,
exactly. They just straight up said, I'm going to be your vassal. If you stab Mapuche, I'm going to be your vassal. And you'll see in Fall Moves how that went. Uh,
yeah, and we do
if you
see
want to
over
look at
here.
South Africa,
Oh,
that's where
zoom
the
more right.
tragedy struck.
South Africa, you dislodge Cape Coe.
Yeah, but like Ajuran and Congo full sent into me.
Yes, they do. This looks rough. You lose
Yeah,
Zanzibar. Barotse is shaky. Uh, yeah. Let's look at how this develops in fall.
yeah. The main reason why both of them full sent was because France said they're gonna full send into me, and then they went into an Aju stab, whereas Congo and Ajuran just tried to attack me there, and so
Okay.
I had to do a lot of shenanigans to save myself there.
I have the fall moves up, and I'm noticing
Okay.
that both of them completely walk back their stab,
Yeah.
uh, even though they had 2 dots on you. They
Yes.
just
I agree.
decided not to take them.
So here's how the negotiations went. I did different approaches with different powers. So with Ajuran, I'm like, hey, France stabbed you here. Abyssinia's gonna jump on you. You don't want this fight. I don't want this fight. Let's not. And Ashirwan being a picker, he's very reasonable. He's like, you know what, you're right. I'll move out. And I'm like, I don't trust you, but I'll say it in moves. Congo, on the other hand, they were pretty much like prior to spring, they were like, talking about random stuff. Like we're having a good relation. And they were like, yeah, I'm gonna attack the Dutch, don't worry. And then they full sent it to me, which kind of like, come on, that's dirty. So I took a more aggressive approach. I basically said, hey, you can take my dot, but I'm just gonna build. I'm gonna convoy armies into Africa and just make your game miserable. So either you move out or we have a full front war. So that's how I got both of them to like back off from me.
Yeah. Other fall stuff. Let's look at the various coalitions we had. So we had this Qing coalition. Uh, and yeah, this is just they're getting blown up. They lose Nivs to Inuit. They lose Chichihar to Russia. They lose Pyongyang. They lose Pyongyang and Haishinwai to Tokugawa. Uh,
Oh, what was that Haishenwai move? God damn.
Russia.
Yeah, I
This
don't
is
know.
just
I don't know. I don't know why they
fantastic.
did that. Yeah.
This is just fantastic. Like, well, not fantastic. Maybe mistake. What happens in PK? Yeah, this
I'm
is
thinking,
stealth bounce and Nanking shouldn't have happened, but other than that, this is really good many nation cooperation to just completely obliterate them. They're -4 here and
yep,
very
that
quickly win the
basically changed.
layouts.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Some
Yeah, no, I think it's just the spring moves worked so well that it was kind of like at this point it was just kind of a done deal, you know. Um,
yeah,
so
it's an open and shut. This like this position is dead, and we'll be lucky if it has another 2 years of life. Jumping over to the Soviet coalition, Soviets are in similarly rough shape. There's three
They
here.
lose Keshem, they lose Tabriz, they lose Kiva. So that's -3.
Yeah, and they're not gaining anything, and they let the Ottomans clear Baghdad from another build,
Yeah.
which is just rough.
My reasoning for the Keshem stab was that, hey, they wanted to walk into Strait of Hormuz, and I'm like, I'm not gonna let you have that. So, and the Ottomans offered Keshem to me, so I'm like, yeah, I'll take it.
Yeah, I mean that's good stuff. Uh, there was actually this thing, and Russia, you had alluded to this earlier, that Sweden had been getting nervous, and we sort of see those nerves happen this phase with
yeah, this is when
Karelia and
Sweden
Riga.
stabs me for Riga. Yeah, yeah. So I guess Poland basically told Sweden, "Hey, look, Russia's gonna roll both of us unless you stab Russia." Sweden stabs me and takes Riga, walks into Karelia, which is very aggravating. And it kind of changes the whole game for me because at this point, um, you know, the way I'm thinking about it is I just cannot have Poland and Sweden both attacking me. It's just gonna totally screw up my whole game. And you know, and Sweden, I feel like our press is kind of not great vibes at this point. And Um, so I'm talking to Poland, and it's becoming kind of apparent. I don't know how much I'm actually going to gain from Poland, um, and so I start kind of thinking about maybe kind of switching sides here and stabbing Otto and going with Poland as kind of like the next thing I'm going to do. But yeah, that stab on Sweden was definitely the most kind of unfortunate part of my game.
Yeah, and it's timed really well because we see Sweden also goes +3 as a result of it, and has both Nerva and Abo and Umea all cleared for builds. So this is
Yeah,
just
it's so great, Sweden here.
this is phenomenal for the Swedish player. They're doing really well. Plus, Dutch is collapsing and they'll be able to eat that European position. We do see finally some movement in this Ute Spain border. Uh, Ute loses both of their coastal dots. They don't get a Cinnabone, and they lose Paiute. They have a minus what, 1, 2, 2 here. Spain, I
Right,
don't know
year
if you
two,
want
we
to.
are
Yeah, I don't know if you want to talk about what was going on
they,
with Aquala and like this idea of putting the fleet in there as
yeah.
opposed to an army.
Um, well, I was trying to counter. I was hoping that you'd would try to defend Yokut, and was then reasoning that they probably put Sonora in Aquala because I can cut it,
Hmm.
uh, and try to counter that move by bracing. But that was not what they were doing, and now it looks a bit silly.
Yeah,
It's that's
I
just
get
bad
that.
luck. I mean, if it paid off, we'd be having a very different discussion about how this was a brilliant
Yes.
tactical find.
Yeah.
Yeah,
It was
sometimes
a
you
good
just have
risk.
to take these guesses.
Yeah.
Again, we see Arapaho hold, Waisho hold, Hawaii
Just
hold.
don't hold. Just tap GPL1. What
Don't
if
Yeah.
hold.
GPL1 moves anywhere?
Don't
God damn
hold
it.
your units. It's bad play. I hate beleaguering points, but this one needs a little bit more. And then,
Yeah.
Fien, you had mentioned that Boran came to you about vassalizing, uh,
Yeah, I mean,
and you
I
immediately
I gave
walked
them a
in on
deal.
Kaipira.
Yeah, the deal was if I will only stab Mapuche if you give me Kaipira, and they said deal. So I'm like, hey, that's two extra dots. So I'll take it. Hell
It's
yeah.
crazy. Um, yeah,
Yeah,
we do see this
yeah,
Mapuche stab over here. What does SPO1 do? SPO1 moves to Bahia Grande as opposed to
yeah.
doing anything over in Australia. And as
Beautiful,
such,
am I right?
they lose both Gulmarogan and all of the position that they could have had in Corpus.
Well, as Portugal, you cannot have Mapuche have a game in Australia. So
As somebody who had a Mapuche game in Australia and Portugal lost everything in 2 years, I agree.
yep.
And we continue to see a special thing that Feen had alluded to, this Udong to Sarawak convoy. Uh, Feen, you
Oh yeah, I
alluded to
convinced
this, right?
Ayutthaya to do it.
How?
Yeah, I convinced. Um, hey, we're besties. Let's kill Ming together. Dutch is getting stabbed, and you already stabbed them, so might as well convoy to Sarawak and just take over the entire island.
Yeah, notably, this does just lose a dot in Sambas. Um, Natunati is
Yeah.
never getting tapped. So this is just convincing Ayutthaya to lose a dot for no reason.
Uh, well, okay. I did say you may lose Sambas here, but you have an army, and that does so much more progress.
Yeah, it's a consideration to be had, but really just some press wizardry that you're cooking up here. We see the continuation of this Dutch stab in South America uh, with Moritzstad and Sao Sebastião, as well as this Japura supporting Iparina in Amazonia. Um, I'm just wondering if anybody has anything else from this phase, because I would like to finish out at least year two before we have to break for today.
I'm very much annoyed at France not taking Bellum. That makes no sense. But anyways,
Yeah, this is just incorrect play. You have a guaranteed third out, you need to take it, and then you need to put down another fleet.
yeah,
We also
Yeah.
see them. We see this Belize for Havana trade go through. We see Canaries for Rabat go through. We see uh, Tunis for Naples go through. So all three of Spain's bounces are very happy.
Yeah.
And I think that was mostly it for this phase that I had noted. I want to
yeah.
touch
One thing I would like to note is Ottomans did not like my Ualata core in spring, but the way they worded that sounds so atrocious. Like I read it and I'm like, okay, you don't want me to core, but if someone reads it, like
just you just read it and you'll be like, oh, you want me to core. So I use that ambiguity to like say, oh, I thought you wanted me to core. Some peak bullshit there. They
Yeah,
said they had too many negatives in that sentence. So yeah,
yeah, you can't not core here because if you do, then I'll be forced to go to war with you instead of somebody else. Something like that.
yeah. I'll try to pull up the exact log because it's actually funny.
Yeah, you pull up the log and I'll pull up the builds map. And
Yeah. Okay, he said I would prefer that to you finishing coring. And I said, oh, I would prefer that you finish coring or something like that.
that's a little bullshit.
That is so much bullshit. But like, come
Yeah,
on, why would you word it like that? That's your problem.
yeah, this is
Ooh.
that's a little rough. Builds map. The number one thing that stood out to me was this full build in Brazil, putting down 3 more units here. Feen, what's the what's the plan here? With 3 more Brazilian units.
Consolidate my front. Nokugo is kind of shitty. And then just kill Dutch. That's pretty much it.
Make plan, do plan. Uh,
Yeah.
Another thing was F Bogota. Why Bogota and not Quito? I feel like Quito just is better.
I'm guessing this was a deal with Aymara, but I don't remember. But I think
Maybe.
Aymara was very afraid that I would go to Gulf of Guayaquil.
Mhm.
Um, and with this, I could just keep them friendly.
Yeah, friends are good. We see the Dutch take off their Peruvian unit, so that'll fall to Spain in the next year. We also see Portugal puts down 2 more units in Danny and Timor, overbuilding the colony. Uh, Feen, are you playing this as a growth region this game?
Yeah.
Lovely to hear. And another thing where Feen's playing a growth region is this second army in Macau.
A
I'm assuming
second army has dropped in Macau.
I'm assuming this was also told to you by the great oracles of Ming and Ayutthaya that you had to build another army.
Of course, all my bills in Macau have been uh, addressed, like have been approved by Ming and Ayutthaya. All of them.
Mhm.
I told
Uh,
Ming, if we're besties, you'll never see a fleet Macau. I'm just gonna keep building armies and attack Ayutthaya because I'm gonna be the new Ayutthaya. I'm gonna cosplay as the new Ayutthaya. That was my
as a
plan.
Ming, that would be terrifying to hear. That your
I know,
army is
right?
the flood of armies coming in 1 year away from half of your home supply centers. That is really atrocious. And then the scoreboard for this year, we do see the Dutch actually only go -1 somehow, despite everything that happened.
Oh yeah, there was an EF war in fall again, so which was
Did
great.
we glossed over that? Yeah, there was an EF war, and as such, the Dutch didn't actually end up losing any of their colonies except for part of South America and part of Indonesia. Fiend, you had a plus like 8 year here, right? Something. It was something big.
+9.
Plus
I
nine.
went +9, I think. Yeah, I think.
Uh,
Yeah. I went
Yeah,
+15 and then +9.
yeah.
Oh, this is where Russia started to coalition me and adding everyone, every single one of them into a stupid group chat. And then everyone else who's friendly with me just leaked everything. What was the point of this? What's the bloody point of this?
I don't know. It seemed
And
like
then
you
they
were
were
doing
talking
well.
about
I
Star
don't
Wars or some shit.
know.
That's great.
Oh man.
yeah. Russia, if you want to touch on building a coalition.
I think that I was having lots of different discussions. I mean, I think that I wasn't the only one who was concerned. It's just that everyone else actually bordered Portugal, and so everyone else was worried about getting ganked by Fiend. So I just um yeah, I don't know. It seemed like people. I think I was talking about it with Toku. and Toki was like, "Hey, this other game I played, there was this big, group chat that stopped someone from rolling, to a solo." And so I was just said, "Well, screw it." Again, the great thing about playing Russia is like the colonials can't really do anything to you. It's kind of amazing. Like you just are playing your own game. It's kind of funny. So I just said screw it, and I don't know. I don't think it really hurt me. I don't know if it really did anything really, but it was kind of funny.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that game that Tokugawa is referencing, I believe, is B2B. I just checked on the fire list,
Oh yeah,
and
wonderful
and
game. I wonder how that went, Enderman.
and the giant colonial that was stopped from soloing was me. Um,
That's funny.
Hey buddy, where's your England solo?
oh my god, oh my god, that game almost made me quit diplomacy. Like genuinely, it
Oliver,
was
all you
so
should
bad.
know is that in that wave, I played England and I soloed, and Enderman played England and he tried for a solo but got coalition, and then the game ended in a Tokugawa solo.
That's hilarious.
Notably, it ended several years later.
Several years later. Yeah, it was one of the
I got
longest
to
games, longer
60
games.
centers on pace with every other England, and then got hard coalition by the entire board as soon as I was across VSCC, and I stayed between 60 and 62 centers for the next 4 years, while having to do tactics to defend the entirety of North America, the Caribbean, and all around NAO. But not to beleaguer other games while we're looking at this one. We do see
Yeah,
Russia luckily has a build to cover Arcane Gels,
yeah,
but we see Fleet Trondheim, Army Amo, Army. If I'm Russia here, this is terrifying.
yeah. This was not great. This was not great. Um, um, Although, I mean, as you'll see next year, I can blow up Corellia, and that's kind of what. Once I realize I can do that, I'm like, okay, well, there's things I can do here. The only other thing I would just say about this is I massively lucked out with Ching's disbands. This was not me. I would love to say, oh yeah, I totally manipulated this. I think Ching just decided their best route here was to keep their fleets, well, which I think is understandable.
Yeah.
But I just massively benefited from it because all of a sudden there's just like no opposition to me over in East Asia.
I feel like if Ching did not disband it, you'd have a very different game here. This year would have
Yeah,
been make or break.
yeah, I could have totally fallen apart for sure.
Yeah,
Mhm.
I don't think that keeping the fleets on is correct from Ching. I think they're just too far away. I would have kept on like Orgu, Hohot, Shengjing, and Liaodong and just played for this kind
Yeah,
of like core four area, and then maybe you have play to retake Haishanwai or Nifx down the line. Just sort of say like I'm gonna be, like in Austria in Classic,
yeah,
I'm just gonna sit here and support hold myself, and you can try to come and break me, but it's gonna take you 2 years to get through.
yeah. I think Inuit basically convinced them to vassalize themselves against Toku. I think that's what was happening. Um, so but yeah, this was definitely me lucking out. And I'm so sorry, guys. I think I've stretched my lunch break as far as it can be stretched for right now. So I think I got to run.
Yeah, I
Great.
think we'll
Sorry about
call it for
this.
today. This will be the end of part one, and if we want
Sure.
to come back and do a part two later, uh,
Yeah,
let
yeah,
me know
I'm
we can.
down.
I
Yeah,
might do.
This
Yeah.
is this is a lot of fun. Just whenever we'll figure out scheduling. We'll chat. So
sure.
Yeah, we can figure out scheduling here.
best of luck with everything. I've got to run to class. Great talking to you.
Fucking nerd.
All right.
Great.
Take
Bye.
care.